All right, folks, you're watching The Cam Rogers Show here on Chat Sports Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. I am Cam Rogers. Check me out on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. Let's talk about Week 3 of the NFL preseason. Exciting week because it, of course, is the dress rehearsal week where a lot of the starters play at least a half, if not more. So let's take a look at some of the BetDSI gambling lines and the Battle of New York. Giants versus Jets. Now, what I am zoning in on here as the Jets are favorited by -2.5 here, which is kind of funny because they both play in the same stadium and all, but I digress. Sam Darnold. How does Sam perform for the Jets in this game? Because there's a lot of buzz out there that Darnold could be the Week 1 starter for the Jets and that Josh McCown will be holding a clipboard, as well as Teddy Bridgewater. If Bridgewater isn't traded, of course. We'll see if that actually goes down. So I want you guys zoning in on that. How does Darnold perform in that Week 3 preseason game? Broncos versus Redskins, as well as Patriots taking on the Carolina Panthers, the game when New England realizes they need Dez Bryant. Next up here, we got the Lions taking on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are favorited by 3 there. The Vikings are the favorite over the Seattle Seahawks. And how about this line? The Green Bay Packers and Oakland Raiders. Raiders at -6. Are you kidding me? I'll get to my picks later. Love that line on BetDSI in terms of going in Green Bay's direction. Next up here, we got the Chiefs taking on the Chicago Bears, as well as the Titans taking on the Steelers, and the 49ers versus the Colts. Quick note there on the 49ers, guess who's back? Richard Sherman seeing his first action on a football field since his November Achilles injury. Reportedly could have played against Houston in Week 2, but the 49ers wanted to play it safe, take the conservative approach here, and there you go. So it looks like Richard Sherman will be on the football field for that game against Indianapolis. Of course, we'll all be tracking how Andrew Luck performs because his Monday Night Football performance against my Baltimore Ravens wasn't too hot there, so we'll see what happens in that game. Let's take a look at the next slate here. Falcons versus Jaguars. We got Ravens versus Dolphins as well, and the Saints and the Chargers, the Drew Brees Bowl, folks. So pick them for the Ravens. Jags favorited in that game against Atlanta, and then the Chargers are the favorites over the New Orleans Saints, -2.5 there. Interesting over-under numbers there as well. I think 41.5 might be too high for Ravens-Dolphins. I'll talk about it when I get to my picks here. And then Bengals versus Bills. Kind of an interesting game because, well, Bengals and Bills have been quite trade partners for the last couple of weeks here, last couple of months here with Cordy Glenn and the NFL draft and all of this stuff. So kind of an interesting subplot to that Bengals-Bills game. But, of course, who emerges at quarterback for Buffalo? Josh Allen is going to be the starter, not this guy, as you see on your screen, A.J. McCarron, which is very notable. Now, yes, A.J. McCarron is battling a little bit of an injury right now. It is not a hairline fracture, which is obviously good news. But for Buffalo, their quarterback position very much up in the air. I don't know who's going to start Week 1. I hope it's not Josh Allen because I think that would be a big fat mistake. Meanwhile, you got Texans versus Rams. The Rams are at home, but they actually get some points there, 1.5. Dallas and Arizona. Dallas getting some points here in Texas as well. So that's the rundown there of the BetDSI gambling lines. I'll get to my predictions, but first, we want to thank BetDSI for allowing us to bring you this fine program. Support them at chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code CAM120, 120% deposit bonus. Get it done today, folks. Free money, and it's not gambling when you win cash easily. That'll be the case for all you guys when you bet. All right, so we got some comments here on YouTube Live from our Super Chat function. Uncle Phil, you're back, saying, I missed this show. I hate they changed my work shift. Uncle Phil, let me know the email of your boss. I'll send him a nice little note. We'll make sure that work shift gets changed so you can watch the Cam Rogers Show religiously, folks. All right, that's what we do. We make things happen. Uncle Phil, appreciate the comment, my man. Keep it up. All right, so let's get to those predictions now. As you get ready to bet on BetDSI, I'm helping you out. Jets -2.5 in this game. I'm expecting a good performance from Sam Darnold. I think he'll be a good player in this football game. Whether he'll be a good player in the NFL regular season, we shall see. Preseason's a whole new thing. But Teddy Bridgewater, Josh McCown, they're getting reps as well, so I like that number at -2.5. Give me the Broncos +3 here. I like the reports out there that Chad Kelly is playing well. You got Case Keenum as the starter at quarterback. As long as they keep Paxton Lynch out of the football game, which probably won't happen, but minimize his repetitions, I like the Broncos number, +3 there. I'll take New England against Carolina, +1.5, but I still think the wide receivers struggle, and I still think Dez Bryant eventually becomes a Patriot. But I just went through a whole Dez segment there anyway. All right, let's talk about Detroit. I got them winning this game +3. I think the Lions have a good thing going this year. They made some good changes on offense at running back, on the offensive line, on defense as well. Just brought in Eli Harold, by the way, via a trade with the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see if that helps things at all. Let's go with Minnesota -3.5. I like this team a lot. They are so deep on that defensive side. I think there's no reason the Minnesota Vikings actually lose this game. All right, so I got them -3.5. Green Bay +6 in this game. Give me them all day long. The Raiders are favored by 6 in the preseason. Give me the Packers on BetDSI. Let's go to the Chiefs here. I got them winning as well, +2. I think Patrick Mahomes really steps up his game in this Week 3 contest, so give me KC. And you guys know I love Tennessee this year. I think they're in for a really fantastic regular season. I think they continue to play well so far in the preseason, win the game, +4. How about this? Colts and 49ers. Am I going SF? No, I am not. I think Indianapolis wins this game. Look, Andrew Luck should play 3 quarters. I mean, that is the best thing that the Colts can do for their star quarterback. And then right after that, it's Jacoby Brissett, and he's pretty good too. So give me Indy in the pick'em there. I've got Atlanta winning as well at +4. And then another pick'em here, the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Miami Dolphins. Baltimore should be able to beat Miami. In fact, in the regular season, it'd be a lock because Baltimore has a history of just destroying the Miami Dolphins. I think the same case can be said here for the preseason as well. Give me my Ravens and Joe Flacco. All right, how about this? New Orleans Saints +2.5. I like that number against the Chargers there. I think the Saints have a really deep roster, so even when the first team goes out, I still like them over the Chargers, a team, by the way, in LA that is just going through way too many injuries for my liking at that line. I'll take Cincinnati +1.5 over the Buffalo Bills. I like Cincinnati's D. Terrell Austin is the new DC out there. I think he'll do a good job with them in the regular season. I actually think Cincinnati finishes last in the North, but that's more of the Cleveland Browns getting so much better, not necessarily the Bengals being worse. And for the Bills, it's Josh Allen. I think he makes some mistakes there in that game. Now, Houston, -1.5. I like that number. I'll go with the Texans in that game. I think Deshaun Watson gets a good amount of repetitions as the starting quarterback. And finally, Arizona over the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals, -1.5 on the road. The Cowboys actually aren't the favorite at home, which is an interesting line there. But I'll take Arizona because I don't think Dak or Zeke will play at all. Those are the reports out there. So with that, give me Arizona. All right, we got comments flowing in. Marcus, my guy. Cam, you hater. The 49ers got that. Marcus, I am sorry, my man. I do appreciate you watching every single episode. And even when you disagree with me, you still come back. That is a true fan right there. Hey, the 49ers have a chance to win the game. I just think Andrew Luck is going to ball out. But Jimmy G versus Luck, it's a good matchup, no doubt. Michael chiming in. How can you not go San Francisco, Cam? Jimmy's going to play the first half. Michael, I get it. I understand. But I think Indianapolis has the depth at quarterback more so than San Francisco does. I actually think Jacoby Brissett beats out C.J. Beathard once the backups come into the game there. So that's my reasoning. It's not an indictment on Jimmy Garoppolo, all right? So keep that in mind there. I think the 49ers will be fine this season.